20-star VO here with a wind-up deck profile. I'm going to save the decks that I use in real life and only show you the deck list in real life as opposed to showing it online, proving that I actually have the cards and stuff. So this is going to be what I'm going to be using at regionals. If they do give me back a carrier, that could be I will slightly change the extra deck, but I already have that planned out, so I can show you that. Yeah. Move on. The main deck, monsters, we're using a 1 Wind-Up Magician. Wind-Up Magician is only at 1, so you use it at 1. It's an amazing card. You'd probably use it at 2 if it was at 2, and if it was at 3, you'd think about it. It can be dead at times just because you need to have a wind-up that can activate its effect at its own will to use it. One of the cards that can activate its effect on its own will is the Wind-Up Shark, which we're using 3 of. Wind-Up Shark says when a wind-up summon, you can special summon this. He can change his level to 3 or 5 whenever he feels like it once per turn. And so it works amazingly with the Magician because you can summon the Magician, special summon the Shark, and then use the Magician's effect to summon something from your deck, which is just really, really good. And Shark is also allowing you to make your rank 5 plays really, really easily. Moving on, we are using 3 copies of the Wind-Up Rabbit. Wind-Up Rabbit is pretty much, it's just a really silly card because it stays on the field and it makes it so your opponent is going to take damage because you declare your direct attack, and if they chain their Mirror Force, you can banish this, and they wasted their Mirror Force, or you can banish something else because it does say banish a wind-up monster till your standby phase, and it just continually just keeps coming back and allows you to keep making your plays and stuff, and so it's just always really, really good card. Next card we're running, 3 Wind-Up Rats, an amazing card for later game. It just says, turn this card defense, special summon from your grave a wind-up monster. And it's really good because late game you can make rank 4 XYZs by using the Wind-Up Warrior, which we're playing 2 copies of. Wind-Up Warrior lets you target a different wind-up or himself on the field and increase its level by 1. So he can be level 5 or you can make the rat level 4. And so just late game you can go summon rat to defense, warrior, and then make an XYZ, which is just, it's really good late game. Then I'm actually playing 2 different wind-ups that is kind of my own personal attack. I'm using the 1 Hunter because Hunter is really good. You can incorporate him into any loop that you want to at any time. So you can just be like, just add a little extra step in there and just get the Hunter out, make your opponent lose 1 to 2 cards, maybe even 3 if you play it right. And it's really good because going minus from the hand is way more drastic than going minus to the field at all. And the last card we're running is 1 Wind-Up Juggler. This is my personal attack. If this is going to make you rage quit, just turn it off right now. I don't really care. But this is my personal attack because when you are using Magician combos, you do want to use level 4s, but you never want to actually have to pull the Shark out of your deck. You only want to be able to have it in your hand to use its special summon effect. So Juggler 1 adds an extra target to summon off the Magician. 2 has an effect that says when it battles an opponent's monster, it destroys it, meaning that the explicitness of the effect, you can set it. Activate a Wind-Up Factory, they can attack into it, it flips up, then its effect resolves, then you can get the effects of the factory, so it works amazingly, and it's just level 4, 1700, so it's pretty good. The only non-wind-up card I'm running is 1 Brotherhood of the Firefist Bear. Bear is a really, really good card in the deck. I was testing it at 2, loved it, I was loving it, and was going to even run it at 3, but I decided to stick with the 1 just because I want to be able to run some other spells, and if I'm not running 3 Tenki, then I don't want to be using 2 Bear, because Bear's main job is keep your back row clean. You don't want the Tenkis filling up the back row when you're going to be using other continuous spells. Speaking of spells, we're using 3 Wind-Up Factory. Wind-Up Factory is an amazing card. It's just whenever a Wind-Up effect activates, adds to your hand another Wind-Up. You use it at 3 because it's never really that bad, especially with the fact that when you activate this, you can guarantee, I can guarantee this card will be MST'd because just people flip out about it. And if you got 2 in your hand, you play 1, they'll MST the first one, you can activate the second one. And the reason why that's good, the reason why that is amazing is because then you can use a heavier back row. I'm using about this many back row cards right there. So when your opponent is MSTing, wasting their 3 MSTs on the, or Mystical Space Typhoon if you don't know what that is, on the factories, then it's really good. The only other continuous spell I'm playing right now is 2 Fire Formation Tenki. Tenki gets cleaned up by the Bear. They do like to MST it to keep you from searching, but that search is not all that important. It's really just, okay, I can if I want to. You know, it just gives you bonus. It makes your rabbits a little bit stronger to 16 if you got both out. And you keep this clean in the back row. I was using 3. And 3 is never bad. It's just you want to be able to have that second bear to keep the back row clean, because you want to be able to use all your traps. With any combo-based deck that I play, I like to use 3-Pot of Duality. It's really, really good. It gets you to your cards that you need, and you can sit on bears and rabbits all day long. Nobody's going to touch your rabbits because they can't touch your rabbits. And so when you've got this little rabbit sitting on the field, Pot of Duality, get your cards. Just keep doing that until you get everything that you need, and then you can just explode. Once again, with any combo-based deck, I'm using 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. I like being able to hit back row because I don't like it when they hit me, but a lot of times I don't really care about the back row. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really hurt me that much, and because like rabbits can escape and such, but the 3 MST is still nice, getting rid of those really big combo stoppers. So I'm using 3 more spells. 1 Dark Hole. Dark Hole is great. It blows up the field. Your rabbit can get out of the way or banish what you need to, because it's just really, really nice. Book of Moon. Book of Moon's really nice. Just flips down cards. It makes it so when you summon your big XYZ, they don't have any kind of issues and such. And the last card is my own personal tech, Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is an amazing card because what it says is I can banish from my deck whatever I want when I need it, and it comes in 2 turns, or I can get it back using Leviair. So I can banish the Magician, go Leviair, Shark, and just have pretty much the Shark combo again. I can banish like Call the Haunted or something and get back that card or a rat if I need it, and it just gets it to me in 2 turns. When you read the effect, it says remove it until your next standby phase. What that literally means is you are only not getting the card during your next turn. You're skipping your next turn, and after that you are getting it. So here's the 3 turns. You activate it here, you get it here, which is just really, really, really good. If it was at multiples, I'd probably run multiples. It's a really good card in this deck, and don't know why I didn't play it in the first place. We're moving on to our traps. We are playing 2 Call the Haunted. Really, really nice card. It's an easy side out when you're trying to use certain side cards. And it gets you your rats for good combos, or it gets you back your Magician, or even your rabbit when you want to have a rabbit stay on the field for a while. This card does end up dead a lot of times because of that. Because of that fact that you're going to be Xyzing with it a lot, so you end up with dead Call the Haunteds out, which is why we like to keep our back row clean from the other cards. This is like the only card that ends up staying on the field though. So next we are running 2 Mirror Forest and 2-Dimensional Prison. Both cards are just really, really good cards, especially the fact that you can chain them to each other. You can activate the Mirror Force, or you activate the Mirror Force, they chain Forbidden Lance. You can chain Dimensional Prison to it because the game recognizes that it's only 1 attack. It's recognizing that they declared the attack, and so you can just keep using these cards just pretty much to stop the attacks, which is great. And especially since you'll be sitting on dumb cards for a while, using these cards are just great. And then the last 5 cards I'm running, I'm using the 1 Bottomless, 1 Compost, 1 Torrential, and 1 Warning. They're all just amazing cards. Compost fights XYZs. Bottomless fights XYZs. Torrential just destroys everything because your rabbits will jump out of the way and your opponent will go so minus. And Warning's not bad at all, especially with all the Hobetting going around where I'll be gaining 4,000 million life points and my opponent just doesn't care about that, and I'll just be getting free Solemn Warnings to stop whatever they're doing once they do use all the cards. Last card I'm using is 1 Black Horn of Heaven. This card not only fights the XYZs, but it also helps if I am worried about the Extinction Knight. I can just set like this card, and like maybe like something else, or have my face-up cards. And when they do summon the Extinction, I can use these cards to help fight it, which is the biggest issue that people have. Extinction's a really good card for this deck, or Exciton if you don't know. Well, I call it Extinction because everything dies. But I just don't feel like paying 70 bucks for the card. Moving on to the extra deck, we are using the 1 Leviair and the 1 Invoker. These 2 cards are your main combo cards. Leviair works amazingly with that Gold Sark. It's just really, really nice, and the Invoker just gets you combos with the Warriors, so it's really good. Then we're running 1 Zen Mains and 1 Leviathan as a defense and attack options for the deck. The attack, it just gets 25. It's a free detach, puts a card in your graveyard that you need. And Zen Mains is good for when you get Veilered in bad situations. You can summon the Zen Mains just to try and get dead cards off the field. So it really is nice there. 21 defense is good, and people like to make bad plays to get around Zen Mains. Along with my last card I'm running, that's rank 3, is Ghost Trick Alucard. Alucard is a really, really good card because your opponent bottomlesses him, and that wastes their bottomless trap hole so that you don't have your better cards get killed, as well as if they don't, you just start hitting their face down cards, and by the time that you can summon this guy, it's really good. Most decks have to use their rank 3s like Invoker or Leviair to go into their bigger combos, but this deck does a lot of stuff where you can go into any rank 5 and any rank 3 at the same time, and making it so cards like the Alucard or Leviathan are a lot more live in this kind of deck. Rank 4s we're using one Abyss Dweller that is not only good against the Fire Fist and stuff, or not Fire Fist, Fire King. It's good against Mermail, and it also shuts down the new artifacts that are coming out. This is the deck I'll be playing at Regionals, which is on April 14th in Des Moines, but, you know. We're also using the one Steel Swarm Roach. This card might get cut if the Hieratics get destroyed, but I'm not that worried about that. But I'm not really that worried about the deck because of this card. It says that any kind of spam-based deck that does that I can get. Against Karakuri Geargia, I can use this card to stop their synchroing play, so they have to go XYZs to get around them first. And then with the number of traps you're running, we're pretty much safe on that. Moving on to this, another combo card, we're using Pappy. Photon Papper Operative is really, really good. It keeps your combos flying. It keeps your, just game moving forward. You can move your rats back to attack to use them some more and such, and it's really good. Other more generic ones that we're using Cowboy and Black Ship, which are just really amazing. I put them in any deck that can summon rank 4s just because the Cowboy can just do the 800 damage, fight over 3,000. Black Ship does not destroy, so it gets around Plain Beasts. It gets around decks like Fire Kings and stuff when they have their little dude, the Garunix out, or not Garunix, the Beast guy out. It just, instead of destroying things, it's just sending, which is just an amazing wording right there. Moving on, we do have the one Direwolf, which is super awesome in this deck. What it does is it just keeps you in just wonderful positions because you can use it on your rabbit, and then the rabbit can use its effect and banish itself, and you can get the effect of the factory, and then you can have Direwolf blow up one of your opponent's cards without having to do any minus to your side of the field. In fact, you actually go plus from it. It's really, really, really positive card in this deck. One of the few decks it was actually meant to be in. So, and the last card I'm using is Crazy Box. Skill Drain really hurts this deck, so we use it for the main decker of Skill Drains. We don't need it, and we do take. And if I were to get my hands on Extinction or Shark, I'd take it out for those. But you know, I'd also take this out if I got Carrier back. It's just this card is. It's okay because of the skill drain, how bad it hurts you, but you're not going to see it very much because a lot of decks are effect-based. We are using rank 5s, as I was saying. We have the one Tears. Tears is an amazing card. It just says, you're not going to touch me for a couple turns. I get to blow up your cards. You're generally going to make your opponent go -2 from his attack because he attacks and he destroys a card. We do have the Cowboy of rank 5s, Volcasaurus. Not only does it blow up a monster and do damage equal to its attack, but it also then is allowed to attack a different monster, as well as the last one we're using is Wind Up Arsenal. This does not only shut down Ghost Tricks, it just wipes them out, as well as it fights any deck that uses heavy back row. It has Wind Up in its name, so it continues your combos. You can use the effects of your factories, and it's really good. That is my personal choice of it. Carrier would definitely be replacing the Crazy Box. Crazy Box would hit the side deck and stuff, but we'll go into the side deck. We are using 2DD Crow. The 2DD Crow are to fight just like Dark World or maybe Fire Kings and stuff. It's to help fight against those decks. You don't want to have to try and deal with them getting those cards that are really harmful. We are using 3 Flying Sea. I think people are going to start using the Medolces during this next format if other decks get hurt. It also shuts down Evil Swarms, and it hurts just any kind of deck that spams XYZs, as well as just the windups themselves. So if I hit that rare mirror match, because people might start playing it if the cards come back, this card is just a really good way to side against them. Next card we're using is 2 Maxi, in case if just other spam decks are still around. It really does make your opponent think, and a lot of decks, like if you use it against Medolces, they do have to really think about what they're doing, what they're going to do, because they have to commit once they start, and it's really good. Next card we are using, which are spells, we're using 2 Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse is good against the Bujin if we're worried about Bujin, and it's really good against Noble Knights, which is just this is auto lose against Noble Knights. And yeah, once again, the skill drain really hurts, so we are trying the 2 Twister in here. The 500 for Twister, or the 500 for Twister is not really that big of a deal since we will be getting rid of the skill drain. We do side in Dimensional Fissure against the Fishies because Fishies do hurt. It also completely shuts down Sylvans if anybody does test with that deck or try it at the regionals, and it's a really good card. You don't have any issues with it because all your cards go instantly into XYZs except for the stinking Rabbit, which jumps out, and you can just use the you can side this in place of a Call the Haunted, and you have no issues there. So yeah, on to our traps. We're using 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror. It's good against certain decks like the Boojins and Constellars and stuff. It really hurts them, and you just really happy positions against those decks with this card. And I'd say try it in every extra deck unless you're using one of those, or side deck unless you're using one of those 2 decks. It's just really good. And the last card we are using is one Eradicator because of the Crazy Box. If we are facing the Spellbooks, it's a really good card against them. It shuts them down. You can side this card in really easily, and since Spellbooks won't be doing much, you can take out some of the cards that are like probably not going to help you that much, like maybe Mystical Space Typhoon or something. It's just easy ways to side. There's just so many cards you can just easily side out in this deck, like the Juggler or Call the Haunteds, or just like Mystical Space Typhoons. Maybe Potted. It's just the deck does a really good job of not only being really fast on its own, but being able to just keep things going. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that. Tell me what I'm doing if you like it, if you want to see more deck lists. Yeah.
Everything is awesome.